Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, so I streamed it. I just changed the name of the title. It is going as my personal.
Yeah.
So you take care of all of that. I start
Sure.
my session.
Sure.
Hare Krishna. Thank you everyone for joining in, and let's get started with the prayers. Let's start with prayers. One second. Okay. Let's get started with the prayers. Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Vasha Dadeshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Thank you everyone for joining in, and we wish you all in advance very happy Diwali and very happy Govardhan Puja also. So today we are going to discuss a very important pastime, one of the most enchanting pastime from Krishna Lila, and also we'll learn a lot of lessons which are very practical and which addresses many of our challenges in our spiritual life. So let's get it started. So actually there is one verse. I'll give you the background of this pastime, that why it happened, why Krishna did this pastime. So Krishna explains in one of the places in the scriptures that ye me bhakta jana partha na me bhakta chate janaha mad bhakta nam chaye bhakta ste me bhakta tamamadaha. So Krishna says ye me bhakta jana partha na me bhakta chaye janaha. Says one who is my devotee is not actually my devotee, but mad bhaktanam chaye bhaktas. But one who is the devotee of my devotee, he is the greatest devotee. So what Krishna is trying to say here is Krishna basically loves to glorify his devotees. He always finds every single opportunity to glorify the devotees. Like we see many pastimes in the Srimad Bhagavatam also. Like when this Samudra Manthan Lila happened. So a lot of items came out. And then Lord personally took those items. But when the poison came out, the Supreme Lord asked Lord Shiva to take the poison. So it's not like that Krishna or the Supreme Lord Vishnu is incapable of taking the poison. But he wanted to give that fame. He wanted to glorify his greatest devotee, the greatest Vaishnava devotee, Lord Shiva. So Lord Shiva took the poison and he became famous devotee as the Neelkanta. He wanted to glorify Lord Shiva. We see in the Ramayana also, So it's not like that Lord Ramchandra is incapable of finding Sita or he didn't know about Sita. But then he wanted to glorify, he wanted to give that opportunity to Hanumanji. And then Hanumanji became the hero of the Ramayana, jumping over the ocean and then finding the Sita and all of that. So like that, you see the Lord always wants to glorify his devotees. Like we see even in the Mahabharata also, Krishna could have, just by his will, would have finished all the Kauravas and the Kauravas armies. But Krishna did not do that. Krishna gave that credit to Arjuna. That Arjuna, you should kill all that and then you will be glorified. So the point is, Krishna always wants to glorify his devotees. So in this pastime also, this Govardhan Lila, Krishna take the chance to glorify one of his great devotee, which is Govardhan Parvat, the Govardhan mountain. Krishna wanted to glorify Govardhan. And we'll see that why Krishna wanted to glorify, and at the same time, Krishna with one arrow, he can, hit the many targets. So not only just he wanted to glorify Govardhan, but also he wanted to do so many other things. Wanted to teach so many other lessons to some other devotees also. So what we'll do is we'll go through this Lila, this pastime. It is mentioned in the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, chapter 24, the Govardhan Puja, Govardhan Lila. But before that, I'll just give you some background story of this Govardhan Lila, this Govardhan mountain, basically. So this Govardhan Parvat is the son of Dronachal Parvat. Drona mountain is the son of Drona mountain. So it so happened that one time one says called Pulasya Rishi. He was, looking for a place where he can sit in meditation and do some austerities. So when he was walking through, and then he happened to see the Govardhan mountain. So then he found, oh, this is a very suitable, place where we have some caves where I can go and sit and peacefully I can meditate. So I want this Govardhan mountain. So he goes to the father of Govardhan, that is Dronachal. And then he says, I want your son. So Drona Parvat says that, no, why you want my son? If you want any help, I can come with you. Like in the Ramayana also we see, right? Vasishtha Muni comes and then he asks, I want Ram and Lakshmana. And Dashrath Maharaj says, why you are asking Ram, Lakshmana? I can send all my army. I can personally come if you need any help. But then later we know that these are all the Leela and the pastimes of the Lord. And that Ram and Lakshmana has to go with the Vasishtha Muni. So here also, Drona Parva says that if you want, I can come with you. But why you do want? He said, no, I want Govardhan Parvat only. So then he says, okay, you are the great sage, and if you want, I have to fulfill your desire. So take the Govardhan Parvat. And then Drona goes, the father goes to the Govardhan, and he says, you have to go with this sage, plus Rishi now. So he says, you didn't even ask me to before sending me with him. He said, no, now we cannot say no, you have to go with him. So then Govardhan Parvat says, okay, I'll go. And he tells to the Pulasya Rishi, I can come, but I'll come with one condition. So what's the condition? Says, my condition is that you, as soon as you lift me, and then you start taking me, wherever you take me, no problem. But if you keep me anywhere, then I'll not move further. He said, no problem. I'll just take you and I know where I have to take you. So straight in one go, we'll just go there and then I'll place you there. So when this Pulasya Rishi was actually carrying the mountain, Govardhan Parvat, then suddenly by some transcendental arrangement, there was, he felt a need, the urge to attend the nature's call. This great sage, generally it won't happen with them, but he strongly felt that urge to attend the nature's call. And then he said, I have to do something. So when he was crossing through this Vrindavan area, there he felt. And he said, I have to attend the nature's call. So he kept the Govardhan Parvat there. And then he goes and attend the nature's call. He comes back, he says, okay, let's move. And then Govardhan says, don't you remember? The condition I already told you that once you keep me, I will not just come further. So by that, actually, this Pulasya Rishi was a little upset, agitated, though it was already, fixed. That was the deal. But there was still a lot of expectation and he was a little upset. So he says that you are becoming so adamant that you don't want to come with me. So I'll just curse you. And my curse is that every day you'll be reduced by the size of mustard seed. And in one day you'll be finished. So that was the curse given to the Govardhan Parvat. So actually it is explained in the scripture that Govardhan Parvat, originally it was very, very high. Right? But because of the curse of this Rishi, every day this Govardhan mountain is reducing in size by the size of the mustard seed. So that was also a transcendental arrangement of the Supreme Lord, because Krishna has to perform some pastime. So when Krishna comes by, then it should become the sizable that where Krishna can perform the pastimes. So that is also another Leela that I have. So that is one of the story of this Govardhan Parvat. Another story is during Ramayana, when this Hanumanji, and then all the monkey army, when they were trying to construct the bridge. So Hanumanji was a big, powerful monkey, god, and then he was going and lifting big rocks and mountains to quickly finish the construction of the bridge. So Hanumanji happened to lift this Govardhan hill also to use in the service of Lord Ramchandra to make the bridge. And then suddenly, there was information, no, it is almost done. So now nothing more is needed. So then Hanumanji left the Govardhan right there. He lifted to use the Govardhan in the service of Lord Ramchandra, but then he left. So the Govardhan, as being a great devotee, he was very disappointed. He says, I got this opportunity to render some service to the Lord, but now, unfortunately, I'm not able to render the service. So then Hanumanji blesses Govardhan, says, yes, you could not render the service to Lord Ramchandra, but don't worry. In the future, you'll be able to do even better services to Lord Krishna. So that was the blessing given by Hanumanji to the Govardhan Parvat. This is another story about the Govardhan. Okay, now there is another third story. What the story? Third story is this. One time in the Golok Vrindavan, the spiritual world, Radharani actually requested Krishna that, I want a place to perform the Ras Lila. And she gave certain description that this place should be like that, like this. Nobody should disturb us. And a spiritually potent place. I want that place. So when Radharani was just requesting like that, suddenly something came out from the heart of Krishna. Some very effulgent ball kind of a thing came and it started expanding. And that expansion happened to many millions of miles, and that became the Govardhan Hill. So it has been explained that this Govardhan Hill is actually in the love of Krishna for Radharani. So this is the solid form of love of Krishna for Radharani. So, and then it expanded hues, and then Krishna on the form as love form for this Govardhan Hill. So second story. Okay, now let us talk about this specific Lila, this Govardhan Lila. Okay, my voice is breaking. There might be some network issue here, so I'm not sure. Am I sounding okay now? Audible? Can someone confirm, please?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes,
Okay.
Prabhuji.
Okay, yeah, I'm somewhere outside, so network might be an issue. So we have to just manage with that. So this Govardhan Lila. What is this Govardhan Lila? Let us see this Lila now. So story of Govardhan Lila, it begins with this nice first time in Vrindavan one time when all the Brajvasis, all the Vrindavan Vasis headed by the Nanda Maharaj, when they are engaged in some kind of preparation for a very elaborate grand puja, and Krishna as a small child, he comes there and he inquires from the Nanda Maharaj. Say, Nanda Maharaj, my dear father, what is all this elaborate arrangement is about? Can you please explain? So Nanda Maharaj was a little busy and he did not pay attention. And then Krishna says, and my dear father, don't think that I'm a child, so I cannot understand what is this all arrangement. And also I am one of your family member, so you should not hide anything from me. You should reveal everything. I should know each and everything in the family, what is happening. So like that, Krishna as a small child, he was pleading like that. And then Nanda Maharaj, he says, my dear boy, actually we are all, cowherd people. We are Vaishya community, and our main business is the farming, and this farming is solely dependent on the rains. So we are making this arrangement to worship the rain god Indra, right? And because Indra is the god that who sends forth the rain, and we are completely dependent on the rains. So then we are duty bound to worship and to please the Indra, so that he sends the nice rains, and so that we can survive and we can prosperous as being the Vaishya community like that. So he explained like that. So when he said this, So then Krishna started speaking something. And Krishna started speaking the Karma Mimamsha philosophy. Krishna says, my dear father, there's no need to do any worship or offer anything to Indra, because Indra's duty is to send the rain. So he is bound to send the rains, whether irrespective of you offer the puja to him or not. That is his duty. So why somebody should bribe a government officer, for doing his duty? So Indra's duty is to send the rain, so he'll send the rain. And then he started speaking the Karma Mimamsha philosophy. He says, we have to do our work. And then Indra is bound to send the rains. So you know to do this. So now question is, why Krishna is basically bringing this? There is a reason actually. So what is the reason? Let us understand. This reason is, say this Indra is a demigod, Devata. And Devatas, all the Devatas are the devotees. And also the Govardhan is also another devotee. But then Krishna could sense that, that this Indra is becoming little puffed up, is becoming little proud. He's thinking himself as very, very powerful and forgetting about his source of power. So then Krishna wanted to crush and smash the pride of Indra through this Lila. So though Krishna actually does not support this Karma Mimamsha philosophy in Bhagavad Gita, but here Krishna is speaking the Karma Mimamsha philosophy, and he's saying, no, you just do your work, and then this Indra is bound to send the rain. He will send the rain, so you know to bribe him, you know to offer any seva to him. So no puja. Rather, you should offer your puja to Govardhan. Because we are all Vaishya community. We are the cowherd man, and this Govardhan hill is supplying all our necessities, gives very soft grass to our cows, so that cows eat the grass and they give the nice nutritious milk. It gives nice beautiful serene water and nice caves where we go and we play. So many wonderful ways this Govardhan is actually helping us. So instead of serving this Indra, you should worship the Govardhan. Why we are worshipping unnecessary Indra? And also Krishna says that, this, I'm sorry. What I was saying, I'm forgetting. So yeah, he says that we should worship the Govardhan hill. Govardhan is a wonderful devotee. And so basically the idea was, Krishna is talking all of this, but idea was that he wanted to teach a lesson to Indra because he was becoming very puffed up. And also, as in the beginning we discussed, that Krishna always find an opportunity to glorify his devotee. So Govardhan is a great devotee. So he wanted to also glorify the Govardhan. So he says, we should worship the Govardhan because Govardhan is such a wonderful devotee. And this Govardhan has been explained actually what kind of a devotee and what kind of seva that Govardhan offers to all the Brajvasis. So this is the words by Radharani. Radharani glorifies actually Govardhan. In the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, in the Venu, through this verse, Antaya Madriravala Haridasa Varyo Yad Ram Krishna Charana Sparsha Pramodaha Manam Tanoti Sahago Ganayostayoryat Pani Suya Baskandar Kanda Mule. So, how Krishna is glorifying that this Govardhan is more worth to receive the worship because it is offering service in various capacities like paniya. It gives very nice pure water for drinking. Suyavas means is providing nice soft grasses. Kandara, the caves. Kandamula, the fruits, and so many other fruits and flowers and everything that Govardhan is providing. And this Govardhan is Haridasa Varyo. He is Haridasa. Haridasa means the servant of the Lord. But Varya means the topmost devotee, one of the topmost devotee of the Lord. That is how the Radharani is glorifying this Govardhan Bharava. Actually, there are three Haridasa Varya. Haridasas have been explained in the Bhagavatam. One is Yudhishthir Maharaj. He is addressed as Haridas. And then greater than Yudhishthir Maharaj is this Uddhavji. Uddhavji also explained and described as one of the great Haridasa. And then this Govardhan is the topmost Haridasa. Haridasa Varyu. So he says we should offer our puja to the to the Govardhan hill. So by hearing all these arguments, Karma Mimamsa philosophy and all of that, all the Nanda Maharaj and all other elderly coward boys, just to pacify Krishna, said, okay, Krishna, we agree what you are saying. So today let us do this Indra Puja. And then we'll find, soon we'll find another occasion, another day to offer our puja to the Govardhan hill also. So we'll do Indra Puja today, and some other day we'll do the Govardhan Puja. So you are also happy, Indra is also happy, everybody is happy, Govardhan is also happy. But Krishna has different plan. What was Krishna's plan? Krishna says no more Govardhan, no more Indra Puja, because Krishna could see that this Indra was becoming puffed up. He's becoming very proud. So Krishna wanted to smash the pride. Krishna does not like the pride in his devotees. That humility is the quality which attracts Krishna's attention, Krishna's heart. So when he renders the service, and because of that rendering the service, when a devotee becomes puffed up, so there are three things. One thing is that seva. Then when we do the seva, and then the sevak. Sevak means one who renders the seva. And then sevya. Sevya means to whom you are rendering the seva. So when the sevak does the seva to the Savior, so the most important among the three is the Savior. Savior is the Supreme Lord. Please remember that I am rendering this service to the Savior, Supreme Lord. And then my seva is important, and I am insignificant sevak. I have no value. It is the Savior's arrangement, Lord's arrangement that He has given me this opportunity to render the service. So I am rendering the service. So I am insignificant sevak. I got this opportunity to do the seva to the Savior. The Savior is important, but sometimes what happens when person becomes blinded and become puffed up, become covered by the illusion, then he thinks that I'm the Sevak, I'm the most important because I'm doing very, very important seva. So Sevak is important. My seva is also very, very important because I'm doing this seva and I am such a wonderful Sevak. And then in that kind of a understanding, you forget about the Savior, that whom you're doing the seva and why you are doing the seva. You think that sevak, I am very important, and then my seva is also very, very important. So these are the sign of that proud. It can happen in the course of doing the seva. So Krishna wanted to teach through this pastime that you should always remain humble. How much ever service you do, we should always remember that whatever service we are doing, whatever service we are doing this service by the mercy of the Lord. So my seva is insignificant. As a sevak, I am insignificant. The most significant personality is the Savior, the Supreme Lord. But Indra is becoming puffed up here because Indra was accustomed to receive a lot of worship, a lot of respect, a lot of honor as the king of the heaven, puja, pratishtha, labha, and all of that. So when Indra was receiving that, so he became, so used to of this. So we'll talk about that. And he was becoming very puffed up. So then Krishna wanted to cancel that puja. Krishna says, no more Indra puja, only Govardhan puja. So whatever arrangement you have made this for Indra, forget about this Indra, and then let us do the Govardhan puja. So now all these Brajavasis, though Krishna is a child, is speaking something, and generally, nobody takes the child's talk seriously, and that too also the small child is saying not to worship, to cancel, and the tradition which has been coming since ages from their ancestors, Krishna is saying, close this, cancel all of this, and worship the Govardhan. So these Brajavasis, they're so enchanted by Krishna. They did not got convinced because Krishna spoke some philosophy, Karma Mimamsa philosophy. But because Krishna is saying, and they say, okay, they agree, let us do. If Krishna wants this, that we should worship the Govardhan, so let us do the Govardhan puja today. Also, Krishna wanted to establish one more thing is that, when I am here, I am the Supreme Lord, then there is no need to worship any demigod. No Devata worship is needed. You worship me. And then Krishna will manifest that this Govardhan is not different from Krishna. So, with all this discussion, what happens that all the Brajavasis, they agreed. And then, they prepared all the annakut, so varieties of food stuff, the mountain of rice, stacks of chapatis and dal and the sweets and savories, and varieties of food stuff has been prepared to worship the Indra. And now they turned towards the Govardhan hill, and they started offering the whole food which is prepared, this Annakut, and that is how this Annakut festival was introduced first time ever in the history of the humanity, by Krishna. So, okay, let us do this. And they're offering this, and it became a very great, joyous festival that they're offering the nice, wonderful food stuff. They're singing, chanting, and dancing. And then all the Brajvasis, along with their cows, they started worshipping the cows. So they took one of the cow as the representative of all the cows, and they're worshipping the cow. So the Go Puja also introduced on the Govardhan Puja day. So that is how all this tradition is coming, that Go Puja happens on the Govardhan Puja. All of that. And then Krishna says, okay, let us go for a parikrama now. Let us circumambulate this Govardhan Parvat. So then, all the Vrindavan Vasis, Braj Vasis, followed by all the cows, the singing, dancing, chanting, and jubilation, and they started doing the parikrama with all the cows and all of that. And while they're doing all of that, so what the people were doing, they were remembering and talking about Krishna's various leelas and pastimes. So, somebody will ask, okay, tell that, who is the first demon that Krishna killed? And somebody say, oh, Krishna killed the first demon, Putna. How old was Krishna that time? He's 3 months old only. And then, what he did, so like that, they're completely absorbed in talking about Krishna Katha, chanting about Krishna's name and glories and doing the parikrama. So we learn the lesson that when we go for any parikrama like that, Vrindavan parikrama, Govardhan parikrama, so consciousness should be completely absorbed in talking, remembering, discussing, chanting about Krishna. So all of that happened. And then while all of this was happening, when they're offering all this, the food stuff and all of this, when they offered a lot of food stuff, and then something happened, that another manifestation of another Lila happened. What happened, that Lila? That this Govardhan, he started showing the form. And Govardhan is showing the form, the four-ended form. And then Govardhan Parvat actually started eating all their offerings. And in no time, Govardhan Parvat and the mountain Govardhan ate everything. The mountain of rice and the chapatis and all the sweets, everything was finished. And then Govardhan was saying, Ani over. Means, bring more, get me more. And all the Brajvasis was thinking, oh my God, he ate everything. So, how do we just quickly, now we cook and all that. But then Govardhan was actually, didn't want to trouble the devotees. He says, okay, I'm satisfied with your offerings. Now, in turn, what Govardhan did, he ate the entire food, and then in turn, what he did, he gave the whole food as a prasadam for everyone to honor that prasadam. And then he manifested that form of Krishna. And all the Brajvasis, all the Vrindavanvasis, they're looking at Govardhan Parvat, that form, and they're discussing, oh, looks like this Govardhan looks like our Krishna only. Look at his eyes, look at his lips, look at his face. He exactly resembles our Krishna's face. And they're becoming very happy by saying that, oh, this Govardhan, the mountain god, is also looks like our Krishna. And they became even more jubilant, more joyous, like that. So here, Krishna actually showed that Govardhan Parvat is not different from Krishna himself. Right? So the Govardhan has been glorified as Haridas Varya, the Haridas, the servant of Krishna, the devotee of Krishna. But also actually Govardhan Parvat is Krishna himself. So though he is the devotee of Krishna, but Govardhan Parvat took the position of the God. And Krishna is God, and he took the position of Haridas. And Krishna is offering obeisances. All the Brajvasis is offering their obeisances to Govardhan Parvat. They say, oh wow. And then Krishna is saying, see, you have been worshipping this Indra for so many years. Did ever Indra gave you the darshan like this? And today we worship this Govardhan hill, and immediately that Govardhan hill gave the beautiful darshan. So let us offer our obeisances and offer our prayers. And everybody offered the obeisances to Govardhan hill, and then offer the prayers. And then Nand Maharaj, because he was the head of the entire community, and Nand Maharaj was offering the prayers. Their only prayers says Govardhan, dear, the mountain god, our only prayer is that Krishna and Balram should always remain happy, and they should always remain protected. That is what is the prayer that as an entire community we want to offer at your lotus feet. So see, their mind is always Krishna, Balram only. Nothing else they can think of. So all this happens. So there's a beautiful celebration. This is the Govardhan Lila celebration, and that is the origin of this Govardhan Lila celebration. and everybody was enjoying, singing, dancing, doing the parikrama, and all of that was going on. So everybody was jubilant and happy, except one person. Who is this one person who was not happy? Anybody knows who is this one person who was not happy? So Krishna gave the darshan, everybody was happy, and one person was not happy. Any guesses? Audience. Okay, maybe somebody is putting in the chat. Yes, this Indra was the one person who was not happy. And he was furious because, all Indra's associate, they came to Vrindavan, they saw, "Oh, what is this? All this preparation was going on. And suddenly, they canceled the Indra Puja and then reported to Indra. So this is what is happening. And this one is small boy and he's talking. And then Indra was furious. Who is this boy? And he literally started condemning. Vachalam, Balisham, he's childish. He's too talkative. He Pandita Manina, he thinks of himself as very intelligent, but he doesn't know. I'll show him that who am I and how dare he can, talk like this and cancel my puja. I'll teach him the lesson. So Indra was so puffed up that he forgot that Krishna is his master. He is driving all his power and everything from Krishna. But he completely forgot because he was so blinded by that power. So this is very, very important lesson that we should understand, that sometimes that power is given to us. So Lord give us the power to render the service. Whenever we need something is required for the service, Lord can give us. And then we should always remember that Lord can take that power also if it is not required. So whenever this power is taken away, that worship, that glorification, which by Lord's mercy is coming in a life, devotee life. Sometimes, people will come and glorify the devotees. Oh, Prabhuji, you are so nice. You are such a wonderful devotee. We should not become puffed up. We should not think, oh, everybody is talking like this, that I'm a great devotee, so it looks like I'm a great devotee. No, we should never think like that. It is all Krishna's mercy that people are coming and glorifying the devotee. Because sometimes it is required to render the service, to share the message of Krishna. And then sometimes Krishna can take away all of those things. So when Krishna takes away all the power and the position and everything, then we should think that either I don't require it, I don't need it, or I don't deserve it. So there's nothing to be disappointed about losing some power, position in the service of Krishna. Krishna wants, he will give. Krishna wants, he will take. So one should not feel disappointed. He should think, maybe I don't need it now, so Krishna took away, or maybe I don't deserve it. But Indra did not think like that. Indra was furious. He forgot all that. So he became very insecure. He says, what is this? These Brajavasis are not worshipping me. And he started feeling this insecurity. So now this insecurity is the product of immaturity. When somebody feels insecure, when there is no inner fulfillment, then you want to be secure by external means, that everybody should come, everybody should glorify me, everybody should worship me, everybody should respect me, and all of that. And you want to maintain that because there is no inner fulfillment. So this insecurity comes from immaturity. It comes from a lack of inner fulfillment. So here you see this Indra was so power hunger, so hungry of worship and respect, and he couldn't maintain his calm and cool, and he lost his sense, and he became so disheartened, so devastated, so discouraged, because he was not receiving the honor anymore. And he said, now I have to teach the lesson. So we see that how person can become so blind and so intoxicated. So the real intoxication is not which comes from the wine or some kind of external things. The real intoxication comes from this big fan following. Sometimes you have thousands and thousands of people. They're like big fan base, even in the devotee community also. So many devotees follow. You say, Prabhuji, you are the one who changed your life. And they genuinely might say that, and that might be reality. But one should not become intoxicated. One should not become intoxicated by all these kind of things. Because once you are intoxicated, you are blind completely. Right? So this puja, pratishtha, lava, they're the weeds on the path of bhakti. Our acharyas, the great acharyas, they explains, these are the weeds. One should be very, very careful to uproot those weeds. This puja, pratishtha, lava, the sense of false ego is boosted when there's a lot of puja, a lot of worship, honor, respect comes, and then suddenly person thinks, I'm so important. I'm such a great devotee, I'm such a powerful devotee, you know. So one should be very, very careful that while doing the seva, we should not unnecessarily feed or boost our ego. Our seva is to purify our heart from all the anarthas, including the false ego. Right? So the seva should not result in boosting our ego. Rather, it should result in purifying our false ego. So, so that maturity is needed, and then mature people have the inner fulfillment. They won't feel insecure, and they always feel very contented in the heart with the only fact that we have the opportunity to render service to Krishna. So far we have any opportunity to do the service to Krishna, we are happy. We are very satisfied. We are very contented. So that should be the situation of a devotee. Devotee is very, very satisfied, very, very contented with whatever little seva you get. Just keep doing the seva, right? So one should not think that that I should be recognized for my seva. One should not look for recognition in seva, but one should look for the participation in seva. That okay, if I get the chance to do the seva, whether people come and glorify me, anybody recognize my seva or not, absolutely fine. I'm happy with doing some minimal service. That is what is called the real inner satisfaction. Right? And this opportunity to render service to Krishna is the greatest benediction that one can have in the entire cosmos. So if we understand this fact that little seva if we can do, I'm very happy. I feel blessed. I feel myself very fortunate. Nothing else I want. Then you are very secure. Inside the heart, you are very satisfied. Right? So that is what is that Krishna wanted to teach. So Indra's position, though Indra is a great devotee, but sometimes the devotee can become blinded by all this false ego and all this kind of anarthas. So one should be very, very careful that one should not forget about the Savior, the Supreme Lord. Should think the Seva is important. Seva is also important. Sevak is insignificant. I am insignificant. Sevak, Krishna is kind. He is giving me this opportunity. And we see this example as a beautiful example in the Hanumanji. So Hanumanji in the Ramayana, we see that how Hanumanji was the hero of the Ramayana. All the major services, going, finding the Sita, crossing the ocean, lifting the mountain, and saving Lakshmana, and all kinds of important episodes in the Ramayana. The Hanumanji was the hero. Lord glorified Hanuman in the Ramayana. But when Lord comes in the form of Krishna in the Mahabharata, and then Lord decided, okay, in this Lila, my hero should be not Hanuman. This time hero should be the Arjuna. So where the Hanuman will go? So Krishna says, Hanumanji, you go and sit on top of the chariot. No, not on the chariot. Still, if somebody is sitting on the chariot, there is some value. He says, on the top of the chariot, there is a flag. You sit on that flag, and that flag keep waving like this. So it will keep waving like this. And that is why Arjuna chariot was famous as Kapidvaja. So Hanumanji was given the position that you sit on the flag and do nothing. Just in between, you just keep shouting. Keep encouraging the Pandavas army. That's all is your seva is. So you see the Hanumanji, who was a great hero of the Ramayana. Suddenly, he was given a simple seva of sitting on the flag. But Hanumanji was not discouraged. He was very blissfully and joyfully rendering the service. Right. So now we can think, oh, this that is nice to hear all these stories, and Indra got furious and all of that. Wonderful. But how does it is relevant in our life? What we can learn. We are not like Indra. Nobody is worshipping us. Nobody is glorifying us. So we don't really fall in that kind of a situation wherein we become furious because we are not that important and glorified and worship devotees like that. So that's fine. How it is relevant? It is very, very relevant. We have to understand what is the relevance of this. Actually, we should understand that, in the devotee community, when there is a differences in opinion, then immediately we will act like this Indra. We will literally react to, the situation. So we should learn that, when there is a difference in opinion, I want this way, and somebody is saying not this way. So Indra wanted that I should be worshipped, but then Krishna is saying no, Indra should not be worshipped. Differences of opinion. Indra was furious. So yes, that situation comes in our life and day-to-day life when while practicing this devotional service in the community of devotees, you see that there is a differences of opinion. Then we should not lose our calm. We should not become reactive. That, oh, I'll teach him. How you think of yourself. I told that this idea, this is the way that we should do this service, but these people are thinking themselves something great and they're saying, no, this service should be like that. I don't want to do any service. I don't want to get connected to the temple. These people are not listening me. They're not valuing me, my opinion, and all of that. See, we become like Indra. So Krishna wanted to teach that, when there is a difference in opinion, how we should learn. We should remain humble and we should accept that it is all Krishna's sanction. If Krishna don't want it to happen this way, no problem. We should be happy with whatever way we can do the service. So that is the lesson. So a lot of lessons can be learned like this. So Indra became the furious here. And then, so we understood that why Indra was not happy. And then he became furious, and the result of Indra's anger was he called the Samvartaka cloud. Now, the Samvartaka cloud is a cloud of devastation. Generally, it is not being used. At the time of annihilation, the devastation, pralaya, this Samvartaka clouds comes into the play. And it can pour the water to devastate the entire creation. So this Indra was so furious, and he says, go, Samvartaka cloud, and inundate the entire Vrindavan. What these Brajvasis, they're becoming so puffed up, so egoistic that they're not respecting me. Now I'll teach them the lesson that I'll devastate the entire Vrindavan and all the Brajvasis. You see how this Indra, though he is a devotee, but sometimes when we are blinded by the ego, then devotee also doesn't understand that how he's behaving. Right? There's many demons sent forth by the Kamsa, and they created the havoc in Vrindavan. But nobody created the havoc like Indra. Indra is not a demon. Indra is a devotee. So even the demons did not create that much of destruction. To that amount of destruction, this Indra is creating. So see how if a devotee is not careful, then he can create more havoc in the devotee community. So one should be very careful. One should not become puffed up. One should not become egoistic. We can end up, creating more damage to the Lord's mission. So this is what the Indra is doing here, and there is no proportion. They did not just maybe they did not worship him, but it doesn't mean that they should be completely devastated. He said, okay, kill them, finish the entire Vrindavan. And he sent the Samvartaka cloud, and the Samvartaka cloud started, pouring the rains. And now what kind of rain it is described? This rain is not some ordinary rain. The rain drops were not ordinary. They were as thick like the big pillars. The big pillars of the water drops were falling. And in no time, the entire Vrindavan was completely inundated with water. There is no silent land. And then all the Brajvasis, all the Vrindavanvasis, they're panicking, they're running, they're shouting. All the cows and calves, all of that happened. And when all this happened, now another very important lesson. So all these Brajvasis, they did not complain to Krishna. Oh, Krishna, look at that. We already told you that we'll do the Indra Puja also and Govardhan Puja. You did not listen because of you, because we listened to your opinion. See what is happening here. No, they did not complain anything. They did not complain anything. What they did, they go to Krishna, turn up to Krishna and say, Krishna, please help. Because Vrindavanvasis, they don't know anything but Krishna. So any situation comes, they started shouting and they're saying that Krishna, please help. They're not complaining, but still they're taking the shelter. They're not thinking, oh, earlier we listened to this Krishna. See what happened to. Forget about this Krishna. We have to figure out our own way. No, again, despite all the problems, they're going to Krishna and saying, Krishna, please help us. And then Krishna, as the Krishna promises in Bhagavad Gita, that Name Bhaktya Pranashyati, that my devotee never perishes. I always protect my devotee. Now, another important lesson, that though Krishna says that my devotee never perishes, it can never be devastated. But another thing is, we should not think that we take the shelter of Krishna, we chant Hare Krishna, we become Krishna conscious it means there will be no problem. No, Krishna consciousness does not mean problem-free life. Sometimes people can think. And Prabhuji, we are coming to temple regularly, we're chanting Hare Krishna, we're attending these sessions, and we're reading Bhagavad Gita, we do all the seva, we do the bhog, we eat only prasadam, everything wonderfully, we are Krishna conscious people. Now there should not be any problem in life. No. One should not have any false expectation. Krishna did not say anywhere that there will be no problem if you become my devotee. But Krishna says, Name bhaktya pranashati. Despite all the problems, my devotee will never be perished. My devotee will always be, I'll always protect, I'll always give the protection to my devotee. So it's a very, very important lesson that we that Krishna consciousness does not mean problem-free life, but it means, Krishna, we are always under the protection of Krishna. So these are the lessons that we can learn, that this devotee, they never complains. They never turn away from Krishna. Oh, Krishna, there's no point of listening to this boy, Krishna. We listen one time and see what is happening. So better not to listen. No, they're not turning away. They're going towards Krishna. And they're always dependent on Krishna. They did not lose faith in Krishna. Oh, earlier, we listened his opinion, but looks like, he just a child and he speaks something and which creates more problem. So forget him. No, they're still dependent on Krishna. And they always know that Krishna will protect. So these are few very, very important lessons that we learn from all this that Krishna is teaching us. And also we should learn that, this Vrajvasis are all great devotees and Indra is also a devotee. And you see, the devotee, there is a clash. So we should not think. Sometimes what happens, people think, oh, devotee community should be perfect. Yes, ideally it should be perfect. But we are still conditioned soul. And there is still, we are all individual beings. And there is a differences opinion. So sometimes there might be clashes between the devotees itself. So, sometimes when we are very neophyte, we start going to temple and we see something, oh, there are two devotees, they're arguing or something like that. He was saying something and another devotee was saying something. Look like this devotees also, they're all bogus people. No, we should understand that this is the conditioned nature, that even in the devotee community also, there might be sometimes differences of opinions. There might be some clashes. But yes, differences of opinions can be there, but there should not be any dissension. There should not be any fight. You have different opinion, I have different opinion, no problem. That will be always there. So that is what is also another lesson we learn. So when this Indra started sending this rain, and then all the Brajvasis, they took the shelter of Krishna again, right? And when they took the shelter of Krishna, then what happens? Krishna started running towards the Govardhan. And now, Anand Vrindavan Champu and other books, there's a description. When Krishna was running towards the Govardhan by some Yogamaya Shakti, not even a single drop of the rain could touch Krishna. So Krishna was not at all got wet by that wet of by the rain of Samvartaka cloud. It could not touch Krishna. Krishna goes running and all the Brajvasis following Krishna. You know where he's running, and he was running towards Govardhan, and then he goes and then he lifted the Govardhan head. And everybody was like, they could not understand. Nobody can understand that how the mere child, 7-year-old, can lift such a mountain like this. But they were amazed. So Krishna lifted the Govardhan. And then he says, now please, all of you, come under this Govardhan. This Govardhan, because we worship the Govardhan, Govardhan will give us the protection. So don't worry, come inside, come under the Govardhan, and Govardhan will give us the protection. And now, all the brothers look at how they're so simple-hearted, so innocent. They're not doubting, oh, look like this boy is still lifted the Govardhan. What if we go under it and this boy couldn't manage and handle this? And what if the Govardhan fall on our head? Will we crushed into the Govardhan only? No, immediately they just went under the Govardhan, the whole Vrindavan, all the Brajvasis, and all the cows and the calves and everyone. You see, small child and elderly gopas, gopis, cows, calves, everyone went under the Govardhan. So it's very, very important. Now, another very important lesson that we should learn. See, Govardhan could give the shelter to all the Brajvasis. Though the Govardhan is not that big, its size is reducing. But as soon as Krishna touches the Govardhan, out of ecstasy, the Govardhan started expanding like anything. And he expanded so much that the Govardhan could accommodate everyone under shelter. So now all the Brajvasis, all the Vrindavanvasis, they are under Govardhan. Now the two kinds of rains are happening. What are the two rains? One rain is happening on the top of the Govardhan, right? That Indra is sending the rain. Now, interestingly, that rain, see, now they lifted the Govardhan, but that when the water is falling, it will go and come under the Govardhan hill. Again, it will be water there. But actually, there's no water because Krishna called Ananta Shesha. So Ananta Shesha comes and he coiled around the Govardhan like a wall. So it was completely protected, though there was a lot of rain was happening on top of the mountain, but not even a single drop of water was going under the Govardhan hill. And also, even on the top of the Govardhan hill, also nothing was happening. Krishna called also the Sudarshan Chakra, and with the heat of Sudarshan Chakra, all this water which is being poured by the Samvardhaka cloud was completely dried up. So with all this devastating water of the Samvardhaka cloud, not even a single blade of grass was impacted. So that is what is the Krishna's protection, and that is what Krishna says, Name Bhaktya Pranashali. So now there is one rain is happening on top of the Govardhan hill. This another rain is happening under the Govardhan hill. What is that rain? And this rain is the rain of Krishna is like a cloud. Krishna's color is like a cloud. So this cloud is pouring the rain of the glance of love to all the Brajvasis. So under the Govardhan hill also there is an inundation of Krishna's loving pour. Right? See, all the Brajvasis, all the Vrindavanvasis, they always wanted to see Krishna constantly, but it never happened. When Krishna is at home, the Nand Maharaj, Yashoda Mai, and some servants, Chitrak, Patrak, and all of them, they will be in the Vatsalya Bhav. So they will get the chance to associate with Krishna. And then Krishna will go to the forest with his friends. Then his friends in the Sakha Bhav, they will associate with Krishna. And all other Brajvasis, elderly gopis, they will get the chance to see Krishna while going and coming in. So like that, though all the Brajvasis, they wanted to see Krishna constantly, but they never got the chance to associate Krishna 24/7. But here, Krishna facilitated this. And all the Brajvasis are there under all the Vrindavan, under Vrindavan, including cow and calves. And everybody is looking at Krishna. And everybody is feeling that we are facing Krishna. Now, how is it possible that when you are surrounding a person, somebody will face, somebody will be at the back? But everybody could see Krishna's face, and they're feeling that we are face to Krishna. And they were enjoying that rain of, the loving glances of Krishna was coming down. And when that was happening, and everybody was so enchanted, everybody forgets. For 7 days and 7 nights continuously, they forgot all their hunger, their thirst, their sleep, and what is happening outside. That Indra is sending the rain. They forget about their houses. Oh, we are standing under this Govardhan, but our mind is going into, oh, what if the water goes inside my house? Something will happen to my property. No, they forget everything. So that is also another wonderful lesson we should learn. That yes, Krishna says that there's no guarantee that there will be no problem, but there is a guarantee if you engage in my service, you get connected to me, then those problems will not impact you, affect you, and touch you. So that is the guarantee, and that is the solution, and that is the lesson that we should learn from the scriptures. Sometimes people think, no, if we go to God, then there will be no problem and nothing should happen. No. If you go to Krishna, Krishna says those problems will not disturb you. They'll not impact you. You'll be unaffected by those problems. And through this pastime, Krishna is showing here that all the Brajvasis, all the Vrindavanvasis, they're just enjoying and they're just completely enchanted. And the different kind of exchanges of feeling and emotions are going on by different devotees, like the motherly devotees, like Yashoda Mai and all that. She's in anxiety. Oh my God! Like, look at this. Krishna is a small boy. He had to exert so much lifting. He might be feeling exhausted, tired. I should do something. And then some of his friends like Madhu Mangal, they say, "Oh, Mother Yashoda, I should not worry too much about that." It's not that Krishna is lifting the Govardhan hill, because Krishna's friend, they never consider Krishna as God. So they're saying, no, it's not Krishna who's lifting. Actually, Govardhan himself is very merciful that he's just floating in the air. Krishna is not touching the hand like that. So don't think that Krishna is exerting himself too much. And that Yashodama is kind of chastising Madhumangal. He says, why you're talking like this? I can see that Krishna is exerting so much. And then he's giving another argument. He's saying, no, mother, actually, this Govardhan is lifted by the power of I'm a Brahmana. So I'm chanting some Brahmanical mantras. So by the power of my mantras, this Govardhan is lifted like that. So a lot of actions are happening there. And this all the Yashodama is in constant anxiety because she used to feed Krishna 8 times in a day. 8 times she's feeding, so much pampering. Right now, these days are passing, 7 days, 7 nights. Yashodama could not, feed Krishna 8 times, and she was wondering, like, oh my God, I could not feed Krishna and all of that. So a lot of things were happening, and some of the friends, and then Krishna, when while lifted with the left hand, wanted to show to Indra that, oh Indra, you are thinking that you are powerful. Look at this. Your power of your Samvarta cloud I can handle with the little finger of my left hand. So what power you have? You are insignificant. Just like a child play, like the child, pick the mushroom, like umbrella, like, there's a small thing. So Krishna lifted the entire mountain just like a mushroom and is showing to Indra that you have no power. I can handle all your power just like that. And then Krishna with another hand started playing the flute. And everybody was so enchanted with the Krishna's flute. They forget everything, all their thirst, hunger, and they're enjoying. For them, there is a festival. They never wanted this rain to stop. The rain, which is, poured by this Indra, they wish that, this Indra should continue to, send this rain. Because they were enjoying so much. They were so much in bliss, in constant association, constant darshan of Krishna, listening Krishna's flute, and so enchanted by all of that. And then, some of the Krishna's friends were saying, oh, Krishna, please stop playing this flute, because your flute have a very special feature. When you play the flute, the liquid becomes the solid and solid becomes the liquid. That is the power of your flute. The rocks start melting down with the power of your flute. So if you are playing this flute, what if this Govardhan, who is a rock, started melting down? So before we get inundated and devastated by Indra's rain, we'll get devastated by this Govardhan only. It would start melting down. So like that, there's a lot of details are given in the scriptures. So a lot of exchanges were happening here, and then Krishna, giving the protection. So what is the protection that Krishna is giving? So Krishna is giving the protection to all the Brajvasis here from Indra's reign, and also because the Indra is also the devotee of the Lord. So he is giving the protection to Indra because he is becoming puffed up, he is becoming proud. So he also needed Krishna's protection, Krishna's shelter. So he is protecting the Brajvasis by lifting the Govardhan, and he is also protecting Indra because he is also a devotee by lifting, along with the Govardhan, he lifted Indra's ego also. So that is how Krishna is. Krishna always protects his devotees. Na me bhaktir pranashati. My devotee never perishes. If sometimes devotees goes, he forgets or he goes off track, then Krishna knows the way how to bring the devotee back on track. So through this Lila, Krishna is teaching these wonderful lessons here. And then all this happened 7 days over, and then all the water was exhausted by the Samvardhaka. They goes and reported back that we poured all our water. There's no more water. There's no water to even cry now in our eyes. Nothing happened. Something mystical is happening there. And then Indra came to the senses. Oh, looks like I did a big mistake. This Krishna is not ordinary. He is my Lord. Then he remembers and he came to the senses. And then Indra was very, very fearful now. He says, I had done such a blunder, such a mistake that I troubled. Krishna can tolerate some trouble to himself, but I know that Krishna does not tolerate any trouble which is created to his devotee. How much furious he will be. He will punish me. So Indra was so furious. He was frightened. He was scared of punishment. So he says, I should go and beg forgiveness, but with what face I should go and face Krishna now? Then he goes to Brahmaji. He says, Brahmaji, please guide me. Suggest me that what I should do. And Brahmaji says, the cows are very dear to Krishna. So you, along with you, take the Surbi cow. And let the cow go front. Then Krishna will be pacified by seeing the cow because he loves the cows more than himself. So then Indra took the Surbi cow, and then cow goes. And Krishna was very pleased to see the cow. So before that, what happens, because Indra realized his mistake and he says, stop the rain, and rain was stopped. And then Krishna says, okay, all the Brajvasis go out of the Govardhan hill. And then, there's a lot of details has been explained there also. And then, Krishna kept the Govardhan hill back. And then he comes out, and then Indra realizes his mistake and he goes with the cows. And then he begged forgiveness from Krishna. He realizes his mistake and he says, my dear Lord, please forgive me for my mistake. I was blinded by ego. And then Krishna says, no problem. Indra, you are my devotee and you are becoming so puffed up. So I wanted to teach you the lesson. So now be careful, be sensible, don't become egoistic, don't become puffed up like this. Do your nice service. So another lesson that Krishna teaches, though the devotee did the mistake, but Krishna did not disown him. He did not reject him. He did not reject his seva. Says continue seva, but now be careful. Don't become puffed up like that. So, like that, there's a lot of lessons from this wonderful pastime. Let me pause here and see if anybody has any quick question or any comment here. Any question or any comment? So, since tomorrow we are all celebrating this Govardhan Puja, it's a wonderful pastime, one of the most enchanting pastime in Krishna Lila. So, the discussion, hope it helps to prepare our consciousness, understand the importance of Govardhan Puja, that from where it is coming. Now Govardhan is a great devotee, humble devotee. And when we become humble devotee like Govardhan, then Krishna wants to glorify the devotees. Krishna wants to, worship his devotees. So Krishna did that. So through this pastime, we'll understand all of these lessons. So remember all these lessons, and lessons like we should not become puffed up, should not think ourselves, I'm a great devotee, I know so much, I read Bhagavad Gita, I read Bhagavatam, I've been going to temple for so many years, I'm a senior devotee, I know everything, everybody respect me. One should not become blind. We should always remember, I'm the insignificant sevak. I'm doing this seva to please the Savior. So Savior is more important than the sevak. So one should not become proud and necessary. So these are some of the lessons that we can learn from this Govardhan Puja. Okay. So we'll stop here unless anybody has any quick question or any comment. We're open for the question. Maybe just
Hare
one
Krishna,
or...
Prabhuji.
Yes.
So, in this story, Brahmaji suggested Indra to take Surbhi cow and ask for forgiveness from devotees if any such mistake happens. What should the...
Yes, very, very important question. Very thoughtful question. Indra took the Surbhi cows. If we do the mistake, from where we should get the Surbhi cows and go and beg the forgiveness? So actually we should understand, it's very interesting to note that Indra took only one cow, but we have many, many cows. And who are those cows? The devotees. We are surrounded in the devotee community. These devotees are like, so as it has been explained, Namo Brahman Hitayacha. Right. Go Brahman Hitayacha. Namo Brahmana Devaya, Go Brahman Hitayacha. So Krishna says that my devotees and the cows, they are very, very dear to me. So Indra took the cow, but if we don't have the cow, we can take the devotees. So we go to the devotees and we express our heart that Prabhuji, I did this mistake, something happened like that. Please guide me, please help me, how to come out from this mistake, how to rectify myself. So we take the shelter of the devotees, the Vaishnavas. They are more merciful. So they will guide our path. So yeah, that is the way. And then we go through the devotees, and that is our philosophy. We should always approach the Lord through the devotees. We should never try to approach the Lord by our own self. We should always go through the devotees. And when we go through the devotees, then the Lord accepts, and he very easily forgives. If devotee prays for that, someone who has done the mistake, he will say, my dear Lord, please forgive this devotee and allow him to continue the service. Lord is very kind, and you want to keep the words of his devotees, Lord will easily forgive. So that's the understanding. Okay. Any other quick question? Okay. So there's no questions. We'll stop here. Let us just do quickly one round of chanting Hare Krishna mantra. So anybody can lead the chanting here. I have to drop, but I want all of you to please chant one round of Hare Krishna. Very, very important. So Rajrani Mantaji, are you there, or anyone from the temple hall? Pranath Prabhu or someone? Okay.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Yeah. Can you please lead the chanting? One now.
Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah. Please lead. I had to drop. So we'll start now. I'll chant for few times and then let me see. I can also chant. I'll tell them. Somebody's waiting for me. I'll tell them to wait for me a little more. So let us chant one round. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare